Hey, Max here. So, SDS went and did it. No, not our moms. They went and made the BR Flawless program pack no sell. Now, I belabored the point a little bit this morning in that video, so I won't go into too much more why I disagree with this thing being good for the game. Even the person and some people that were, I guess, like the main feedback of why World Series should be no sell, kind of disavowed BR being that way, but I do see a lot of arguments out there still about BR Flawless program being no sell and why that's still good for the game. Now, it goes into a lot of different spots and a lot of different about what the community is and how you want to see this game. And I don't think there is seriously a wrong opinion. I just think there's good, there's bad, and does the good of one way outweigh the bad and the negative of the other way, right? So the old way was allow these things to be auctionable, right? And basically allow people to grind this program, allow them to get one of these cards. They can choose who they want, then just sell it, right? So your choice didn't really matter, as they always ended up being about the same price. Now you're kind of, when you're forced into a no sell, you basically got to choose, all right, who's going to help my team longest? Like if you wanted to try out the big hurt for your team, the problem is there's a lot of first basemen, right? Because you can only have one first baseman or DH, and there's a lot of competition right there at that spot. So less bases for him to be. Whereas Verlander, you got 5 starting pitchers. Outlier, he's going to last a little bit longer. So, you know, maybe even though Verlander, maybe you don't want to use him, he's going to last your team longer since he's no sell. You're kind of, you know, it's probably a good idea to grab him. Longo's got a pull swing, which is really nice. He plays third base, shortstop, which are generally more premier positions, even though we do have a lot of third basemen this year that can also play shortstop like Chipper, etc. So you're forced into keeping something long-term with something that you could have sold and got another one for a little bit, you know, a 10% differential in price, potentially with tax and everything. So I don't like it. Overall, I don't like this. Like I said, watch this video this morning for why I don't like that, more reasons why. And it's interesting to see the community being so divided on this, because like when we went through this in Madden, almost everybody hated it, right? I remember the community by and large being against the no sell rewards for the missions. You know, ranked, they made it longer too. Of course, this isn't any longer than it was before. They change up some of the missions sometimes, but overall they're pretty consistent right there as far as the BR missions, whereas ranked got a little bit longer and harder to do. All right. One thing before I move on with much more of what I want to talk about in the BR. I made the LB subreddit. Look at that, mama! I made it. Right? They took my sarcasm as being serious, but that's the risk you have when you're sarcastic over text. So what's like the argument is, right? It helps the 12-0 keep value with the flawless program going auctionable. And you know, it does for a certain point, right? Day one, 230,000 stubs. I think day one, last program, memory's kind of foggy. I don't remember. I know there were 150 stubs for basically the entire time up until last Friday with the major market crash across the board. So they were pretty decent day one. I don't know what their exact price was. I have to go back and look, but anyways, 230 versus 150 as they currently are. They can go up, they can go down going forward. We'll see. They were lower when everybody had their 12-0 save. They were lower this afternoon, of course. But 220 right there at sell now. So the value is there, right? An extra 70,000 stubs for going 12-0. The issue is, like, is that worth it, right? Should you reward the people that go 12-0 that much more than people that just grind out the program, right? The more common casual players. My opinion is no. I don't think the good of a rewarding player that go 12-0 should be overwhelmed. Now, it is strange. There are so many like content creators in MLB The Show that really do love that this, you know, went no sell here for the program. It's interesting. You know, allow me a brief aside for a second. The difference between MLB and Madden in the communities. In Madden, not a lot of comp guys make content, right? Because when you're streaming your comp games, people can lurk your stuff and you just don't win big tournaments, right? Streamers don't win big tournaments. Whereas in MLB, it doesn't really matter. There's no like schemes and stuff. Like for example, K-Mac, he had like this 5-wide scheme that was, you know, pretty off meta when he broke it out in a tournament, made a heck of a run, started streaming the games. And then his next game, a week later or something, or 2 weeks later when there was the start of the big tournament, the guy's like, yeah, I just saw him do that and I couldn't make the adjustments, and K-Mac lost. But it's interesting in MLB The Show, there's no such thing as like those kind of adjustments as much as like, you know, what are you going to do in third down situations? There's a little bit, but So there's a lot more comp voices as content creators, and so a lot more followers of the content creators that are more comp in MLB The Show. I see a lot more people, not only comp guys, but also people in the community say this is a good thing. It's interesting because most of the community, like I said in Madden, when we got a lot of no-sell features, really didn't like it. And so, off of that aside, it's just interesting to see the dynamics in the community being different based off how many comp plays it. Because, like, in my opinion, like, I feel like Diamond Dynasty is best when it's casual, even as a content creator, right? You can see this in cards. I see this argument too. Cards that are cheap are better for views. It flat out. The cards that more people can get, more people are interested in them. Like, people are like, oh, these exclusive rewards that are going for a lot of stubs, people want to see how they play before they put it out. Yeah, some people, but in my long, like, I'm old, dude. I've been doing this for a while, and I understand LMB community is kind of young. Some of the content creators a little bit newer into it. I get it, but I'm old. I've seen this. I've seen this destroy Madden, and like, I've seen content. Like, the card that everybody gets for free, right? From solos and Madden. Like, if you do a video on that, it's just much better than maybe an expensive, like, a million coin card from a promo, right? Like, weekly wild cards this last year got terrible views because they were too expensive of cards. So, off of the content, back on the BR. I didn't want to go too much in this video about why I think this is a bad idea, even though I kind of did. There are fixes to it, obviously. The BR program can be different. One fix I saw was, obviously, one fix we talked about, stub voucher. Another one, why don't we get sellable previous BR rewards? Why don't we get, like, you know, how we got BR cards last year? We can get that, program-specific cards again. We can get old flawless rewards. You know how, like, Ken Griffey Jr. Posada? Like, we can get flawless program, no sell for the current cards to help out 12-0 guys. But then last programs, cards before they go away, those become auctionable that you can get in the program, right? And then another suggestion was, once you get to 100, maybe you start back over and you grind again for another no-sell. All these are excellent suggestions, and I really do hope SDS looks at them and makes the adjustment for next month. But again, like, overall, the game's still solid, right? We can, Dimmu was making points that the game's gotten a lot less no money spent. It does hurt no money spent. It absolutely does hurt. Just like the World Series change, because, like, people used to be able to sell those rewards, right? Get to them, grind to them, and then buy out the live series, buy out, you can do sets. You can sell more expensive cards, buy the cheaper set cards to try and get set 2 done a little quicker, set done 1. If you're still looking to do that one, everybody's doing different things. Cores are nice. How close are we getting? We're at 175, so we got to do a little bit more BR. We can get the core set done for Core Reseeger. So I don't know. In my opinion, I think this game is best, like I said, when it's really featured towards the NMS crowd, when it's really easy to grind. It's still, probably the easiest. I don't play FIFA or 2K this year. I would assume MLB's still much easier than them, but it's a lot easier than MLB or than Madden. No money spent to get a top end squad because they just gave away a bunch of 97s with these, like, World Baseball Classic cards and stuff. So I don't know. I think it's best when it's like that, and I feel like most people would agree with that. Obviously, we're in disagreement with comp guys at that point. They think there should be specific cards gated to them, which I could totally understand their viewpoint, right? There's nothing wrong with it. I see, people vote selfishly, and so when they see something good for them, of course they're going to argue for it. And I could see the value in having those kind of things. Like, right now, I feel like the expensive cards, right, like the big gatekeeper cards, are the set cards. Also, the where's the mantle? The mantle card, like the chase cards, are expensive. So there are, like, some very expensive gatekeeping cards as it is. So it's not like I could see the point where, hey, maybe we all shouldn't have the same teams. Maybe some cards should be expensive. Some cards can be less. These are all very valid points. Like, we currently do have those cards called the Commerce Comet, called the Set 1, Set 2 cards, but those will get more common as we move along, of course, for the collections. So it's all great. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you think this should have been non-sell, or if you're like, hey, screw them, I'm good enough to get a 12-0. I don't think other people should be able to make it, because in reality, like, it just hurts a lot of people. and it only helps a few. And it doesn't even help them that much because they also are losing the ability to auction off their card that they would have earned through the program anyways. So it hurts, but it helps too. Dumb. I don't know. Anyways, bye. That's it for the video.